Hello there and welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. And in this live stream I'll be sharing my thoughts on the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. So sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. So while I share my thoughts on Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, I'll actually be playing a bit of Far Cry 6. Currently in that game I am trying to capture an enemy base. It's really tough. It's this massive enemy ship full of enemies. It is tough. It is tough. So to give my lovely viewers something to watch as I talk, I thought I'd play some Far Cry 6. But the theme and point of this live stream is for me to discuss my thoughts on the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. And how do you do to my first and lovely viewer? How are you keeping? And you are very welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. So yeah, as I just said there, I will be talking about I will be giving my impressions of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I've watched the trailer. In fact, there's actually two trailers to Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I watched them both. Jump! I almost died. I almost fell to my doom. And as a die-hard Resident Evil fan, as somebody who absolutely adores the Resident Evil series, as somebody who has played every main-line game in the Resident Evil series since I was a kid, I am not impressed. That is the end of the live stream, no joke. I'm not impressed. And it angers me. It genuinely angers me that the Paul W.S. Anderson and Emilia Jovovich haters are all like, oh, this movie is great. This is the Resident Evil movie that we deserve. It's going to be great because it doesn't have Alice in it. It's going to be even better because Paul Anderson is directing it. What idiots. That genuinely angers me when I see comments like that on social media.
Far Cry 6 Gaming.
Far Cry 6 Gaming, while I share my impressions of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. Saber, welcome to the live stream. Johnny Raging. I don't think you've actually experienced my true rage yet, Saber, but you may experience it in this live stream for a few reasons, really. While I share my impressions of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer and I attempt to take over this FDN base, it is tough. Okay, so my impressions. You know what? I'll start off with the positives. The positives of the trailer.
I ordered Tim Hortons French vanilla.
Nice, French vanilla. Okay, so what they actually got right, in my opinion.
The positives are absolutely nothing.
I can't argue with that, Saber. I can't argue with that. But there is one positive, and there is one thing that they've gotten right, and that is the aesthetics of the mansion. Now, I haven't seen much of the inside of the Raccoon City Police Department. I've only seen the outside. Now, the outside looks very like the Raccoon City Police Department that you would see in the remake of Resident Evil 2. even in the original Resident Evil 2. But what we did see a lot of, even in some of the screens that were released after the trailer, like stills, was the inside of the mansion, the Spencer estate, Spencer Mansion. And I have to say, it looks fantastic. The mansion looks fantastic. It looks like the mansion. Like, it is the mansion. And not even from the point of view of the hallway and the balcony and the red carpet that goes down the steps, but I've even seen screens
Crispy like
of the movie.
You want to take down Umbrella, Claire, they're our best friends and you haven't even met them and you become a detective.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Saber, you're spot on. You are spot on. You are exactly right, and I will get to that in just a minute. But let's talk about the positives. Let's get back to the positives. So the mansion looks like the mansion in the games, even from the point of view of... so I've seen screens of some of the paintings throughout the mansion. Now, the mansion in the games were full of these, gorgeous, beautiful paintings, pieces of art. And they even have a piece of art taken directly from the game. It's the painting that hangs above the grandfather clock in the Resident Evil remake. It's the puzzle where you basically you have to like match up you have to put the small hand and the big hand, and but that painting anyway is in the movie, and also the stained glass designs as well that was in the mansion in the game. It's all there. So long story short, the mansion in the movie is just a 1-to-1 ratio of the mansion in the games, and that is a positive. As I said, I didn't see much of the inside of the Raccoon City Police Department, so I don't know how authentic that. Though the car park does look fantastic. The Raccoon City Police Department car park, it does look very like the car park in the games. Okay, so they've gotten the aesthetics right. They obviously put attention to detail with the aesthetics of the mansion and even the Raccoon City Police Department, which is a positive. But Saber, as you said earlier, man, there's very little positives to discuss, really. That's the only major, like, if any, positive that I can actually discuss, to be honest with you.
What made you make a live video for a movie today? Someone said to you it will be great.
I was watching... Who was I watching? What was the name of the channel? Let me get the name of the channel. I watches him from time to time. He's a Resident Evil YouTuber, Saber. Residents of Evil, I'm pretty sure you are aware of him. I was watching him and he's completely bypassed the fact that the CGI on the zombie dogs looks like something that came out of Windows Paint in the 90s. Completely bypassed the fact that Leon was a Hispanic. He's obviously getting paid by Capcom to some extent. So I was like, you know what, no, I'm going to give an honest opinion of this movie, unlike the people that are paid by Capcom, and unlike the Paul Anderson and Mila Jovovich's haters, I'm going to say it as it is, and I'm saying this, right, as a passionate Resident Evil fan. I'm not saying this as somebody who just hopped into the series from 5 and 6, like, Midi Lord, welcome to Green Hill Gaming. How are you keeping, man? In this live stream, I am giving my impressions of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. So, like, I love the Resident Evil series, so I'm going to say it as it is. So, yeah, the positives are the aesthetics of the mansion.
I have been streaming.
Ah, good stuff, man. What have you been streaming? I got to check out some of your streams, man. So, yeah, mansion looks great. The Raccoon City Police Department looks... the movie. Well, stay tuned, man, because you're going to hear exactly how I feel about this, and about this movie, and I ain't going to hold back. I ain't going to hold back in any capacity, man. So apart from the mansion looking like the mansion in the games, which is fantastic, and the Raccoon City Police Department looking fantastic, especially with the car park, it's very hard to continue with the positive, impressions, because the casting is terrible. The character design is hilarious, and the representation of the lore is shocking. Quite simply, and their approach to this movie is just so backwards. So let's start off with their approach. Like the approach basically sums up every area that I discussed there: the casting, the character design, representation of the lore. Let's start with their backwards approach to this movie. Yeah. So they literally this is Utku. How are you keeping, man? Welcome back to Green Hill Gaming.
Yo, what's up, Saber? Grounded from PSN, lol.
Grounded from PSN. What happened there, Millie Lord?
The Wesker actor could have been great as Chris, but they don't even know what they're doing.
What I'll do is I'll actually go over all of your comments in a second, and I'll discuss how you feel. But
are you grounded?
Not to be selfish, no. But I'm going to start off with my impressions first, and then I'm going to hear your impressions if I can fit it all into one live stream and take over the space. Hopefully, I can do all. So, it's backwards.
It's a bit tough for me at the moment.
Oh,
how's it going for you, Green Hill?
What's up, Utku? Not more complaining about Utku, but how are you keeping, man? What's up? So I don't know if anyone knows this, but they literally, like the directors and whoever, like the people involved in this movie, right? The Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City movie, they literally asked Capcom for the original designs, the original blueprints of the mansion.
Right when my friend said the N-word, and he said I was grounded for a week.
Oh, that's a tough one. You're lucky it was just a week. Dear God, Mitty.
I moved to a new city, and I am kind of lonely and had a breakup.
Oh, that is tough. That is tough, man. What I can say to you there, man, is slowly but surely you will adapt to your new situation. Oh no, yeah, wear headphones. So they literally asked for the designs of the mansion. So they were like, we need this mansion to look like the mansion in the games, and fair fuck to them, it does. Again, as I mentioned, it even has the exact pieces of art that were in the mansion. It looks like the mansion. I love the fact that it looks like the mansion. So they got it right there. And I presume they probably did the same with the Raccoon City Police Department as well, right? But then here's where it starts to go a little bit backwards, right? Okay, let's talk about casting. Okay.
I did wear headphones, dumbass lol. My headphone jack unplugged now.
Oh, no way. No need to call him a dumbass, Mitty Lord. No need to call him a dumbass. He wasn't being offensive or anything. He just said it.
I got dumped nicely.
You got dumped nicely. Still though, getting dumped is not nice in any capacity.
The Ashfords were in the trailer, BTW.
So we will talk about that now, Saber, I promise you. So I'm going to squeeze all this into like 30 minutes, which is going to be tough, especially when I'm trying to take over the space as well. So let's talk about casting. Leon S. Kennedy. And can I just say one thing as well, yeah? The director was very clear from the start that he wanted to...
I say it as a joke, lol. Kind of like in the Avacent, but...
You're fine. But he was very clear and adamant that he wanted to create a Resident Evil movie for the fans. He wanted to make this a true representation of the games. Okay, so Leon S. Kennedy in the video games.
Thanks for your nice wishes, though they mean a lot to me.
No problem, man. No problem. Listen, man, I hope things get better for you, man. It's a tough situation to be in. You're adapting to a new way of life now, and especially when you're dumped as well.
Full trailer. Who is doing Leon?
I'll get okay. No. I don't know who the actor is, but let me just say this: Leon S. Kennedy in the video games, which this director claims to be staying true to, is a Caucasian. He is smooth looking. He's got a smooth face, and he's also blonde.
Johnny Weary fans
in
are
the movie
people to make a true movies and series.
We'll have to make it. That's what it is. We'll all have to get together and make the movie that we deserve. Leon S. Kennedy in this movie is played by a scruffy Hispanic. He looks nothing like Leon S. Kennedy. Their defense is, we want to cast actors who love Leon S. Kennedy, who love the characters and can act like them. Anybody can act. I can act like Leon S. Kennedy. you can act like Leon S. Kennedy. Does it mean that you're actually good at acting as Leon S. Kennedy? They were basically saying they wanted people who are passionate about the game and passionate about the characters.
WTF.
Again, we're all passionate.
Man, they need a John Romero Resident Evil movie.
I know. We're passionate about the series. We're passionate about the characters. Does it mean that we should be in the movie? No, it doesn't, because we're not qualified actors. So the casting is a joke, and that's just Leon S. Kennedy. Let's get to Albert Wesker. Oh my God!
I could go to theaters to watch it.
I'll just get right to the point here. I'm going to pause it for a second. Albert Wesker in this movie does not have his sunglasses. I mean, that's all I have to say about the casting of let's go back to casting actually. Sorry, I will talk about character design in a moment, but we get back to casting now. The actor that plays Jill Valentine. Now, Jill Valentine in the video games, like Leon, is a Caucasian.
Wait,
she's a Caucasian, no sunglasses, and that's not all. Apart from him not having no sunglasses, he has a clean shave head, right? Completely.
Wesker not wearing glasses burns my eyes.
Oh, there you go. It looks, you know, the way Albert Wesker has this kind of greased, kind of blondish hair, yeah,
watch
in the video games. Yeah, watch the trailer, man. You'll be surprised. And so in the movie, he's got this buzz cut, a clean kind of clean shave head. Looks nothing like Albert Wesker, basically. But to get back to casting, right? Get back to casting.
BRB, gonna watch the trailer.
No problem. I'll probably be here. So Jill Valentine in the video games is a Caucasian American. In the movie, she's described as mixed race. I think she's actually African American, but at the least she is.
Wesker are together.
She's definitely. Yeah, that is crazy. She is definitely mixed race in this movie. So again, another example of terrible casting, and an example of how backwards the makers of this movie actually are. You know, they want to stay true.
Wearing nail polish, it disgusts me to see. That Jill doesn't wear clothes like that.
So they want to stay true to the video games, and they're getting the mansion spot on.
What is this game about?
Oh, this is Far Cry 6. This is about a dictator who's taken over some place in Cuba, and you're basically kind of starting kind of like an uprising, and you're basically trying to free the people. It's Far Cry. You don't know what Far Cry is. So yeah, they want to stay true to the video games in the area of aesthetics, but when it comes to casting, then they just don't seem to be that interested in staying true to the source material.
On Far Cry 3 you can be evil.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm actually just going to pause it from here because I'm not going to be able to focus from this point onwards. So you can listen to some relaxing music in the background. So that's the casting. That's the casting. So you've got a Hispanic, scruffy-looking Leon S. Kennedy, and you've got a mixed race actor playing as Jill Valentine, who looks nothing like Jill Valentine. As far as character design then is concerned,
how much points you give Far Cry 6 so far, Johnny?
So far, I'm not very good at giving points to a game. Just to say I'm enjoying it, so I would definitely give it a solid 8 at the moment. Definitely a solid 8 at the moment. I haven't played it enough to give it a full score. Like, I don't know, I haven't played it that much yet. So, character design kind of ties in with not so much. Yeah, it does tie in with the casting. Actually, it does tie in with the casting. No, it's kind of it ties in with the casting, but it's a different thing. Like, let's face it, right? Leon S. Kennedy, as I said, he's played.
Just watched it.
He's played by a Hispanic actor. But the least they could have done. The least they could have done was shaving his beard.
Leon sucks.
The least they could have done was cut his hair or dyed his hair. They put no effort into designing this actor, right?
He fucking screams when he sees a liquor.
Run! I know, yeah. They could have at least made him look like Leon S. Kennedy, but they didn't. And that's where the character design comes in with Leon S. Kennedy. I spoke about the casting, how bad it was to have a Hispanic, a Hispanic playing Leon F. Kennedy. But as far as the character design is concerned, they could have at least made him look like Leon F. Kennedy, which they didn't. I mentioned earlier about Albert Wesker. Let's get back to him. So Albert Wesker, again in the video games, he got those sunglasses, he's got that black gear, he's got the silk kind of, tied back blonde hair. No, in the movie, he's got no sunglasses, and he has and he's got, they're better off going to bingo than seeing this movie. And in this movie, he's got a buzz cut hairstyle, so he looks nothing like Albert Wesker. They made no effort to make him look like Albert Wesker. And I actually remember hearing the actor who plays Albert Wesker. I forget. Bingo. What a quote from Resident Evil 4. The actor that plays Albert Wesker, he was talking about this recently, and he said he wanted to bring his own touch to the character. What utter bullshit. On the one hand, the people behind the movie are saying, we want to stay true to the video games. On the other hand, you've got the actor playing Wesker saying, I'm gonna bring my own touch to Wesker. No, Wesker is written. He's written already. This isn't new. This a ground up movie. This is a movie based off a video game. Albert Wesker is already created.
The first game would be badass.
Be fucking better than this shit anyway.
Wesker is probably gonna be a twist villain.
Wesker is written. Wesker is who he is. You can't put your own touch on a fucking character that already exists. You are playing that character, whether you like it or not. You don't want to you don't like Albert Wesker wearing sunglasses indoors, then fuck off and be in Avengers. Or fucking some other fucking movie. Yeah? I mean, on the one hand, they want actors who are passionate about Albert Wesker, but you've got him who's saying, nah, I don't like how he wears sunglasses inside. I won't wear sunglasses. What other bullshit that is like? So that's the character design of Albert Wesker. Albert Wesker without sunglasses is not Albert Wesker. People hate so much on Paul Anderson's Resident Evil movies and Milla Jovovich's. So fucking much. And they're so fucking retarded to think that, that by default, this movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, is going to be somehow better than Paul Anderson's movies simply because he isn't directing it and simply because Milla Jovovich isn't in the movie. What a retard you could be to fucking think that. But here's the one thing that Paul Anderson actually got right in his fucking movies: character design. Look at Nemesis.
The 2R and 3R could have been great actors in the movie because their cosplays looked great.
I'll get that in a second. I'll get that.
Take it easy.
No, I won't take it easy because I'm actually a die-hard Resident Evil fan, and I swear to God, you take it easy. You tell the Paul Anderson haters to take it easy. You tell the Milla Jovovich haters to take it easy, because they're the ones who are retarded. Those are the ones who are busting fucking blood vessels, hating that movie.
Of Wesker in the live-action scenes in the first Resident Evil
there you
movie.
go. I mean, look at Paul Anderson in terms of how he designed Nemesis. Look at the lickers. And look at Albert Wesker. He's got his black hair, he's got his sunglasses, and he's got his blonde hair.
Kind of pisses me off.
So it's not that I am passionate about the Resident Evil series, Saber. I'm not just a fucking Lady Demetress
the
simp.
Movie is gonna be good. They're really dumb.
They're beyond dumb. I'm not a Lady fucking Demetress simp, okay? I'm a fan of Resident Evil. Yeah? I mean, some people get passionate when they're busting their fucking balls to a fictional fucking video game character. I get passionate when I'm talking about a Resident Evil movie.
Actually accurate. It was just right.
It was perfect in Paul Anderson's movies. No. So, we discussed bad casting.
Like Lady D.
We've discussed character design. Now let's talk about the representation of the lore. Again, the director has said that he wants to stay true to the video games. Okay, in the video games, the mansion incident...
Resident Evil and loved it.
Great game. The mansion incident and the Raccoon City incident take place 3 months apart. 3 months apart. So in the original Resident Evil, that's the mansion incident, and in Resident Evil 2, that's the Raccoon City.
She is too pale.
That's the Raccoon City incident. They take place 3 months apart, and also at the end of the mansion incident, Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine discover that the bizarre killings on the outskirts of Raccoon City in the Arklow Forest were linked to the Umbrella Corporation.
They walked into the mansion with UMPS, not burritos.
The Umbrella Corporation,
come on.
With their experiments on viral weaponry, T-virus. Once they discovered that, they went straight to the Raccoon City Police Department
Yeah, right.
in their attempt to expose the Umbrella Corporation. And again, there was about a 3-month gap between what happened in the Raccoon City, Okay? And also, the Ashford Twins don't come into the lore of Resident Evil until Code Veronica. And Code Veronica takes place, I think it's like 4 or 5 months after the Raccoon City the Raccoon City incident. So that's the lore right there. Eh? Let's talk about the lore.
True to the original, my ass.
Yeah, exactly, true to the fucking original. I mean, he's obviously making up his own story, which is exactly what Paul Anderson did with his movies. What he wanted to do is he didn't want... basically, what Paul Anderson didn't want is fans...
The Ashfords were shown in the trailer.
Was fans of the video games sitting down watching what they already experienced when they were playing the games. He wanted to tell an origin story, what happened in the mansion, which you never actually saw from the point of view... in the game, as the point of view of a gamer.
YouTubers think the new movie is going to be good.
Because they're getting paid by Capcom. If I was getting paid by Capcom, I'd lick their fucking hole too. But guess what? I don't get paid by Capcom. So...
I mean, they're trying their best to make up for the 2000 Resident Evil movies, but they're just making it worse.
Paul Anderson wanted to tell an origin story, so he was kind of telling his own story. And now, this is exactly what this guy is doing. And people are like, oh, this is great. This is great. He's doing his own thing. So what, Johnny, if the mansion incident takes place 3 months before the Raccoon City incident? So what, Johnny? He's telling his own story. You know, in the movies, the mansion incident and the Raccoon City incident have been told during one night. One night, you're going to squeeze all that lore. You're going to squeeze all that story, including character story, into one night. How's that possible?
His story can F off.
How are you going to tell the story of Stars, their investigation into bizarre killings in the Arklet Forest, the actual mansion incident itself, and everything that goes along with that after? How are you going to squeeze all that into one movie on top of the Raccoon City
fucking change the plot and
incident?
Character design. It's like making Daredevil Asian and Superman gay.
It's retarded. Although in this climate, I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen, my lord. So, and then you have Claire Redfield arriving at Chris Redfield's house, and Chris is like, "What are you doing back here with your conspiracy theorists? You weren't right then, you're not right now." Basically calling Claire Redfield a conspiracy theorist for wanting to expose the Umbrella Corporation. How the fuck is that staying true? How is that staying true? How is that staying true?
Donut with nuts on them.
Nice. How is that staying true to the source material? How is that staying true to the Resident Evil games? How is that a true representation of the video game lore? It's complete bullshit. You're making up your own story as you go along. And the Ashford Twins, there's a reference to the Ashford Twins. The Ashford Twins have nothing to do with the Spencer Mansion, have nothing to do with the Raccoon City incident. It was the Ashford Twins are an experiment by Dr. Edward Ashford, who was working in, I believe, the Antarctica. It was a completely different project. It was a T. Veronica virus. It had nothing to. It was part of the T virus, but they were doing basically there's 3 founding families of the Umbrella Corporation. The Ashford family.
Become simps of that terrible movie.
There's the Ashford family. There was Dr. James Marcus, and there was Spencer, right? But Dr. Ashford was doing his own thing in his own corner of the world, right? There was no direct connection between what happened in the mansion and what happened in Raccoon City to the Ashford Twins. The only thing that this movie has is nostalgia. To go back to the positives, how I started off this live stream, you know, the mansion. I definitely got a feel of nostalgia when I saw the mansion, because it looks very much like the mansion in the games. And the same with the parking lot in the Raccoon City Police Department.
The games link the story so flawlessly, it spread it out without boring the player and stressing the player out. And
it's also, you can also see these scenes that are recreated. Like the scene where you encounter the first zombie in the first Resident Evil game. They're recreating that. They're recreating the the scene where the truck topples. They're recreating all these scenes. It's nostalgia. But here's a newsflash, Hollywood. Nostalgia doesn't make a good movie. You know, in spite of everyone hating Paul Anderson's Resident Evil movies, guess what? Every single one of those movies were box office hits. So the hate isn't going to change the fact that these movies were successful. Will this movie be successful? Will nostalgia alone, will nostalgia alone make this movie a box office hit?
Mansion in Unreal Engine and it can look better. And the movie period.
I literally have 10 minutes left in the live stream. So let's just go through.
Johnny boy.
Chad Middleton, you literally joined the live stream as I was pretty much wrapping. What are your impressions of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer? Let me know. Again, I only have 10 minutes. Apologies I didn't have longer. I'm going to go through those comments now as I promised. Hopefully they'll all show up. And I'll go through them. So if you can try to refrain maybe from commenting, if that's possible. There's so many comments here now. So it doesn't show all of them. Unfortunately, it doesn't show all of them. Okay, the Wesker actor could have been great as Chris, but they don't even know what they're doing. Yeah, man, that actor could have played any other character in that game. He could have played Richard Aiken, you know, and as you said, he could have even played Chris, but he definitely does not look. I'm beyond mad. He doesn't look anything like Albert Wesker. He doesn't look anything like Albert Wesker. So you're right about that. Ashfords were in the trailer. So yeah, the Ashfords are referenced in the trailer. I think there's even a little clip that you see them as well. But there's also a movie reel where you can see the Ashford Twins. Again, the Ashford Twins.
Albert Wanker, elbow cup.
Albert Wanker.
Bro, I could think of 10 of the best actors for Leon Kennedy.
There's definitely better actors out there that not only look like Leon S. Kennedy, but can play Leon S. Kennedy. But the actor they got for Leon S. Kennedy in this movie is a joke. I mean, Leon S. Kennedy is not Hispanic.
I don't really care
and he's
about
not
the
scruffy.
movie because video games movies always sucks.
Yeah, and why are they doing this? Like, they just, every time they say we're going to stay true to the original, but they never do. Then at least Paul Anderson was honest when he said that he wasn't going to be retelling the story of the games. You know, at least he was honest. That's how I look at it. We are fans and all these people. It's very good comment there, you said there, Saber. We Resident Evil fans are the only people to make it true. I think you're exactly right.
Bro,
I think you're exactly right.
Some movies.
I mean, why is Hollywood continuing to make video game movies that are aimed at new audiences? Fuck new audiences.
Metal Gear and a Resident Evil movie.
I'm not going to run off to see the next high school fucking musical anytime soon because I'm not interested in the high school musical. So why would somebody who's not interested in Resident Evil, why would you want to target a movie to them? Don't target a video game movie to people who are not interested in the video game. Target it to people who actually are interested in the video game and do something with the fucking lore. You know? But Sarah, you're right, man. I mean, we the fans should be the ones making this. We should all just get together, fucking, you know, and I'm sure there's plenty of directors and screenwriters, you know, and people involved in movie making that are fans of the Resident Evil series. And they're the ones who should make this movie and not target it towards people who never actually played the game, but target the people who have and who are passionate about the fucking video game. But, yeah, Wesker not wearing sunglasses is just not Wesker.
They have been luring newcomers for way too long.
Oh yeah, and Jill and Wesker being together. Now, I've heard that a few times. I just hope that it's not true.
I'm waiting for that Black Wesker trailer.
But if it is true, it's going to be hilarious. Where's the true?
The modding community has been more better to the fans than Capcom.
Where's the true to
Someone needs to get fired.
Where's the true to the video games? But guess what? Albert Wesker and fucking I thought Jill Valentine or Claire Batefield, one of them in her, get together. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh, but it's going to bring tension. It's going to bring tension into the movie because you never experienced that before. Yeah, I also never experienced an original character like Alice, you know, but Alice gets so much hate. I've also never experienced, you know, characters like Dr. Isaac. I've also never experienced the fact that Albert Wesker was actually the CEO of Umbrella. But all that gets hate. But Johnny, you have to give it a chance. You know, this going to make things interesting.
No
you know,
tyrant,
imagine how
Barry,
Chris
or
would
Rebecca,
feel.
sheltering.
Yeah, there you go. We have no tyrant. You know, no fucking I think you meant Barry. No tyrant.
Who's the one who chose
no
the
Barry.
actors I wanna send death threats rolling on the floor?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. No.
Heavens, elbow cup, sheltering.
Here. I'm passionate about the series now. Okay. Somebody getting death threats now is a bit ridiculous now, say, but don't you think? I don't think anyone deserves a death threat now. You know, what I'm saying is criticism, and you know, if you're going to put a movie out there to the public, then you're going to have to expect criticism. But there's a difference between criticism and wishing someone death, no, Saber, in fairness. But yeah, I mean,
they need to bring back the blind dude from the director's cut for the Ost for this movie.
But like, blind fucking hell, person making his movies blind. But yeah, I mean, like, where was the tyrant? Again, you're being authentic to the video games, but where's the tyrant? If we end up getting Jill Valentine with Wesker, or whoever the fuck with Wesker, you know, I'd be surprised if I had fucking Chris Redfield or Wesker.
True. People send death threats to Clout2 director and Abby's actor. People gone too far.
Yeah, but that's a bit. Yeah, that's way too far. That's ridiculous. If they decide to go with the whole Wesker and Claire Redfield thing over a tyrant, then that's just complete bullshit. That is complete bullshit. I'm not going to get very much time now in this live stream, but I will try to go through
when weary
some of
face,
the comments.
loudly crying face.
The original actors from the first game would be. I actually agree, but then again, let's face it, they couldn't act for their life. But you know, they
need to get the plot right.
They look a lot more like the actors that are playing the characters in this game. That's for sure. The voice actors in Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 should have been great actors.
Leon and Claire Mao.
I mean, if that happens, like, Jesus, and yeah, true to the original, my ass. Exactly. I mean, that's pretty much what I'll wrap up this live stream with. I mean, true to the original, my ass. How can you be true to the original if you've got a Hispanic, scruffy Leon S. Kennedy? If you've got a mixed race, like African American Jill Valentine? If you've got Albert Wesker without his sunglasses? You've got no tyrant.
This movie is making because of one word: money.
Money. This movie is made not because it's staying true to the original, but because they're capitalizing on Paul Anderson haters, Mila Jovovich haters, people who want a real Resident Evil movie. He obviously saw a gap in the market, completely went after these people, injected money with nostalgia, and that's the only reason this movie exists. I will say it because I'm a Resident Evil fan, and I can be critical and watch something at the same time. That's what people don't understand. That's the difference between an absolute hater and somebody who is basically criticizing.
Getting attacked by zombie dogs in the parking lot. Elbow cup.
Yeah, zombie dogs. It looked like something that came out of Windows Paint of the 90s. But I will be seeing it because it is, you know, I am a fan, you know, of the video games. Do you know what I mean? So I will see this movie, but it doesn't mean that I have to love it.
Elbow cup, because I can't go to cinemas to watch it.
Yeah, all the way, man, all the way. Man, if they're not going to let you see it in the movie, man, then what choice do you have? Definitely, man. Download that shit, man. Download that shit, literally. I've dubbed this movie Welcome to Raccoon shitty, to be honest with you. And you know what? There's also I do have an agenda. I will admit that. I do have a slight agenda for criticizing this movie, and it's to go after deliberately.
Disgusting cam quality.
It's to deliberately go after the Paul Anderson and Mila Jovovich haters, because I have seen that man and that woman receive so much fucking hate over the years for their movies and for their representation in the video games. So fucking much. Now it's my time to hate on those people. Now it's my time to hate in this movie, because I'm going to expose how hypocritical these haters are. They hated Paul Anderson for going.
They make their movies like Capcom remakes the games.
I know. They hated those movies because they didn't stay true to the original.
So you don't care if you.
But look at this movie.
They didn't advertise it. Sheltering.
But look at those. Look at this movie. You've got Chris calling Claire Redfield a conspiracy theorist. You've got a Wesker without his sunglasses. You know, I've got this terrible casting, terrible representation of the lore. And all, so we get a couple of nostalgic scenes and nostalgic aesthetics. That's not good enough. That doesn't mean that your video game is. Do you know what? I only have literally. I know I'll be saying this now, but I literally only have 5 minutes. You want to create a Resident Evil movie that is a true representation of the video game lore. Here's how you do it, because let's face it, you can't replicate a video game into a movie. Because if you replicated the Resident Evil video game into a movie,
what you drinking? Good vibes. Hydrate. If you tell me, I will tell you what
water.
I am drinking. Elbow cup.
I'm drinking water. You can't just recreate the video game as a movie, because then you have all the puzzle scenes and you're going to have characters going around doing puzzles. It wouldn't add up. But as far as the lore is concerned, you basically tell the story of these bizarre killings. These bizarre killings. I mean, the movie starts off with a hitchhiker.
I am drinking hot French vanilla.
Nice. The movie starts off with a hitchhiker just walking through this dark forest, and she gets attacked by something. You don't know what it is. And then it cuts to a news report of bizarre killings, believed to be animals, but some people question whether they're animals or not. Some people suspect cannibalism. Then it cuts to the Raccoon City Police Department, and the stars are coming together to finally investigate these killings. Then a chopper goes into the Arkle Forest, crashes. Always lost contact.
GTG, see you green.
See you, Midilor. Thank you for dropping by the live stream. They go into and then basically you just tell the story of the mansion incident, but you don't squeeze in the story of Resident Evil 2. One movie at a time. One movie at a time. One piece of lore at a time.
People.
I'm not surprised, but that's how you do it. Like, that's how you do it. And you want to put a movie, you want to put a song into the movie trailer. How about you put?
How dare them not make Albert and Birkin a gay couple? Sheltering.
How about?
See you, Midi Lord.
How about you put in Moonlight from the video games as you're, putting this trailer? But that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. As a fan. Oh, and then you can get the reference. Oh, there's the Arkle Forest. Oh, there's the investigation into the bizarre killings. And as the movie goes along, they discover a conspiracy. They discover the true origins to these bizarre killings. Discover the origins of evil. Oh, what happened? You fucking got fucking Wesker to bang you. And that fucking gave birth to the fucking Raccoon City Police Department, Raccoon City incident, did it? Complete bullshit. But that's how I would do it. But I'm not a Hollywood director. I'm not a movie fucking maker. So that's out of my hands. But definitely staying true to the original of my arse is how I'll end this live stream. So thank you so much for watching the live stream. Thank you for sharing your impressions also.
Just give it up, F my sister.
On the movie. And I will talk to you next time.